that bad. Well, they actually played the basketball game in Atlanta last night. It was pretty bad. The Lakers didn't just lose the game, it's how they lost the game. They trailed pretty much the entire time. And we talked about it. Remember that bounce in Boston that got Rondo the shot to win the game? And you said into this microphone, you were like, if that bounce goes a different way, we're talking about Luke Walton's job security.
Correct.
And it's unfair to treat one game, one bounce of the ball, and to extrapolate that into someone's job security. But I'm about to do the media guy thing. You are now under 500.
Okay.
This late into the season, with LeBron James, granted, out for 17 games, but it doesn't seem good. It doesn't feel good going into the All-Star break. Luke Walton's got some days off. He'll be chilling at the house with the family, relaxing. And here's what Luke Walton doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to look down at his phone and see Magic Johnson. That's what Luke Walton does not want to see during this break. He's not picking up that call. Jalen Rose, being serious for a second,
okay.
Is Luke Walton's job in jeopardy during the regular season?
I said that I felt that this would be the only season that Luke coaches LeBron James, and here's why. I believe that Luke is a talented coach and deserves to have a job in this league for a really long time. But my instincts tell me that this will be his only season coaching LeBron James. And when he go to the bench, he ain't talking to Luke. He talking to who I think may be his replacement.
Give it to us.
Brian Shaw.
Ooh, I did notice during a timeout, right before they went to break, they showed Brian Shaw talking to KCP and LeBron immediately as they went to the sideline.
So that was in November, and I love, and the staff knows this, I love some deep fried turkey. And since Thanksgiving, I was eating it every day until that morning. That's why I remember. And I felt bad for Luke because I anticipated what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. There's a division on that team. You have players who are seasoned vets on one-year contracts.
Yep.
Rondo, Lance, JaVale. Yes, they are committed to this team. But yes, they want to get new deals. They don't want to be on one-year deals for the rest of their careers.
Nope.
Then you have the rookies. Then you have the players on rookie deals that are trying to make a way for themselves in the league and have shown promise. Kuzma's taught me he's a prolific scorer in this game.
Love Kuzma.
He's going to get buckets. And you could put the clip up there of me saying that he's going to be the most compatible with LeBron James.
How many old clips he wants to show in one show?
Brandon Ingram has shown me that he's a scorer in the game, could get his own shot out the dribble, and he has all-star level potential. They're playing without Ball. They actually miss him. Hart is showing potential, and I wouldn't have traded Zubac. So now you put that melting pot in the locker room and say, we're going to trade you 5 guys for Anthony Davis.
Everyone on rookie deal is like, ooh.
And so it's like, oh, wait, whoa. I got to call my mom. I got to call my agent. I got to call my manager. I got to call my real estate broker. Like, I need to do this right now because I might not be here. And so now it's discussed, and it's discussed. And unlike the Philadelphia 76ers, they don't close the deal. You call the Pelicans, you get the voicemail, they don't return your call because the deal is going to be the same
but none
for the
of that
most part
falls
this
on
summer.
Luke Walton and his job security. Luke Walton's not involved in this.
Correct, but somebody has to be the scapegoat. That's how this works.
But don't you think that Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka are above just like managing public perception through firing the coach?
They didn't anticipate this happening. Remember, we went from saying LeBron James, best player in the game. And LeBron killing right now.
He's still the best player in the game.
Well, the best player in the game ain't gonna make first team all NBA. So what does that tell you?
He missed 17 games. That's
okay, but there have been players like Steph Curry that miss 17 games, but still make first team all NBA. He's not gonna make it because the other players around him have elevated. Like a Paul George, for example. Like a Greek Freak, for example. Kevin Durant is gonna be there as well. So that means LeBron.
Steph and James Harden.
That means LeBron took a little step back.
Yep.
That means we talked about the Lakers. Can they advance in the playoffs to will they make the playoffs.
Will they make the playoffs?
So now when things get suppressed a little bit, it's like, where do we make change? The head coach, who they're paying $7 million and who's going to get another job with somebody else while the Lakers are still paying them that money.
Why do you believe Brian Shaw is going to be the person to replace him?
Because, number one, there's been a pattern here with LeBron. We saw it with David Blatt, and it turned into Tyronn Lue. We also know that if you're a franchise like the Los Angeles Lakers, yes, you're printing money. But Jeannie Buss signed Luke Walton to a $35 million contract, which means if the storied franchise is going to bring in another coach to replace the one I think is doing a good job from outside of the fray, that means you're going to have to pay him just as much, if not more. And I don't see them investing that type of money in two coaches. So Brian Shaw, who I love, who I think deserves the chance to be a head coach, who I think is going to do a good job, which is why I'm the person saying that he's going to be the replacement.
Do you think the Los Angeles Lakers make the playoffs this year?
No.
I do.
No.
I think they make the playoffs. Let me tell you why they're going to make the playoffs.
Because they got LeBron. They got LeBron.
Let me try this again. Let me tell you why I think they're going to make the playoffs. You ready?
Because they got LeBron.
Okay, let me try for the third time. You ready? Let me tell you why I think they're going to make the playoffs. The two teams above them are the Clippers, who are not trying to make the playoffs.
Nope.
Honestly, if you could tell them right now, they'd be like, we prefer not to. Thank you very much. And
for some
the Sacramento
context,
Kings,
so they can keep their first round pick.
Yes, and the Sacramento Kings, who, if you were saying one of these two teams, all right, Sacramento Kings have a 2-game lead on the Lakers. One of these two teams is going to be in the playoffs. LeBron James and the Lakers, or De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings.
Let me tell you some words you haven't said in decades. The Kings and Lakers are fighting for a playoff spot.
Oh,
you didn't anticipate
Kings and Lakers
that.
Fighting in the playoffs. I remember that era.
How about
I remember that era.
Right. How about
Yeah.
that? So, here's how I like to gauge success, and you know this, by realistic expectations. If the Sacramento Kings make this year's playoffs, they're going to throw a parade.
Parade.
Right? They added Harrison Barnes so they could go for it. They got Bagley in the lottery. Fox is balling. Hield is balling.
My guy Bogdanovich
is balling.
I understand all that.
Okay? They are committed to the franchise. They're invested. What I saw in Atlanta and what I see from the Lakers every other night is a splintered team. Yes, LeBron James has a rite of passage because he's an all-time great. But teams win in the NBA, and that does not look like a playoff team to me.
One thing I saw last night watching this game, and something I've seen from LeBron, the greatest player of all time, multiple times, is he's so good. And not only is he so good athletically, he's so intelligent. His basketball IQ is so high. He expects a lot from his teammates. And when he doesn't get what he expects from his teammates, he can pout a little bit. He can show a little bad body language, and he kind of lets you know that you weren't where you were supposed to be or you didn't make the right play. And I saw a lot of that last night as they were down.
Correct.
That gets a little stinky after a while.
So look back at the Indiana footage when he's at the end of the bench. Mm-hmm. Look at Lance not helping up a teammate when he falls down. Like, these are drippings of teams that now, okay, you have a big win in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But they barely won that game.
They should not have won that game.
Okay, that was not the intended consequence.
There were two crazy loose balls that ended up in their favor at the end of that
Correct.
game.
And you know how karma caught up with them? When they went to Indiana. Okay? It caught up with them. Then they went to Philly and got beat down. This Laker team has struggled all year versus current playoff teams. All season. They have the 4th toughest remaining schedule in the NBA. I would love to see them make the playoffs. You know why? ESPN and ABC, guess what? We have the Western Conference playoffs. And you know what? I would love
good for business.
it to be Golden State and the Lakers in the first round. I would love it. But I just can't see it today.
Lakers fan, I think it's so important that they make the playoffs this year because you just don't want next year when they have whoever it is. They have LeBron plus whatever max players they have or player. You don't want this to be the first playoff experience for the supporting cast if they're still there.
People keep saying that. Why do you care about the experience of their young players when they're going to get traded?
You don't know they're going to be traded. You don't know that, Jalen. We thought they'd be traded a month ago or 2 weeks ago. They weren't. You don't know that, Jalen Rose. You really don't know
The
that.
long-term viability of the Lakers core has already been decided. That won't be it.
Jalen,
I wish I could say this in another language.
What don't you understand about this? What don't you understand about this? If Anthony Davis on July 1st at midnight gets traded to Boston, then they're going to have some of those players.
What did the Zubac trade show you?
That they didn't value Zubac as much as I felt they should have.
It showed me as an asset that they fostered, that came out of nowhere. They put it in the oven. They gave it all of this TLC. And all of a sudden, when you move him, that tells me that this young core is not what we're building on moving forward. That's what that shows me. They want an experienced team to play with LeBron James in his 17th season next year to try to win a chip next year.
You know what showed me that the young core isn't what they're building around is when they literally gave up every single one of their players for Anthony Davis in an offer. I mean, that was the indication right there. It wasn't necessarily the Zubac and Beasley trade.
I'm just saying, like, ultimately, the Lakers have created assets in that young talent. Luke Walton has done a great job of fostering them to improve. But the goal for them is to try to win a championship next year. So if they don't get Anthony Davis, guess what they're going to do? They're going to cash those chips on somebody else.
But they also have open spots, Jalen. They have open spots. They can just sign players.
Oh, Lakers got an open roster spot?
They can just sign players. No, I mean for this offseason. Why are you acting like you don't know what I'm talking about? They can sign max players without trading anybody in this offseason. So they could easily have all these young players next season plus Kemba Walker or whoever. Easily.
And you'll still be fighting. If it's LeBron James, Kemba Walker, and the young core, you'll still be fighting the Sacramento Kings for a playoff spot.
It's not true. You know that's not true.
I do know that's true.
Today. I don't know what kind of crazy
I do know that's true.
You're just talking crazy.
I want the Lakers in the playoffs. It ain't personal. Magic is my idol. I played in college with Rob Pelinka. I want LeBron James in the playoffs. It ain't personal. I know their fans think, oh, he just hate the Lakers because Kobe scored 81. Magic was my favorite player growing up. I rooted for the Lakers. Norm Nixon was my first agent.
Can we end this?
Okay.
Can we end this by saying this? I want a 25 consecutive push-up bet about the Lakers making the playoffs on wax.
Not gonna be able to do it.
So guess what? You're also passionate, you're screaming, you're throwing your hands around, throwing all these hands around everywhere, but unafraid. Oh, okay, I got it. Is it because you can't do 25 push-ups or because you know that they're kind of gonna make the playoffs?
No. I want to bet dinner at our choice restaurant.
No.
That's what I want to bet.
No. It's time for News That Matters.
You're something else.